has been hovering 15 to 15 and a half. As we take Dulux Auto Colour race cam. Grice, can you bring it home from here?
Yeah, I think so, Mike. Car's very good. Just got a stick on third gear. The car's very good, so it's looking good.
What a return, eh, mate?
Yeah, that's a certainty.
You don't show much emotion, but we'll talk about that a little later on, maybe about another 13 laps, or another 10 laps, I should say.
Yeah, I haven't hit the clock yet, mate. I'm still at work.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll let you bundy off.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, thanks for the chat. We'll talk to you maybe the final lap.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Alan.
I think you can get a good idea in this, Mike, of the sheer aggression that he's driving with this car. He's absolutely wringing his neck. It's as hard as you'll ever see any Commodore go around here. And the other thing with Grice, that he doesn't expend a lot of personal energy driving the car. He's so neat and tidy the way he goes about the business. You don't see arms waving everywhere. He's very short and sharp in the gear changes. He just uses the right amount of energy to get the job done.
He's lapping 2:19.5, 2:19.8, lap after lap.
10 laps to go for Alan Grice.
I reckon 2:19 is going to be too hard for Paul. I obviously feel that Paul's going to actually move back a little bit. As good as Dick's cars are and everything, it's a very hard job to get a young guy that's fresh from overseas, come in, that's not used to driving Sierras, and throw him up the mountain like this and get him to pull back 14-second deficit in 10 laps. It's just too hard.
And what a credit to Holden too, providing Alan Grice with the machinery to do his work. It's a production-based engine. It's unbelievable the revs they can get out of this thing all day. It's a production-based motor car, and it's a fantastic effort that they can get this thing so competitive and to run at the head of the field for most of the day.
Yeah, that's right, and I think full credit to Win Percy, who runs the team with Wally Story's engineer. Wally's been such a good operator. He's come from Sydney. Win drafted him out of his own business. They have more engineering in Sydney, and took Wally down to Melbourne, set up the show, and they've run these cars all year, and they've absolutely run their neck all year. 8,000 revs, I said earlier. A lot of revs to use in a big V8 for 1,000 k's.
It comes across the top of Nissan Skyline. And we have monitored that split for the last 5 laps. It has been very constant. 15 to probably down to 14 seconds at one stage. Grice picked up the extra second the next lap. It's again out of Toledo Tools' turn. Here's the Pearson Stewart car. Heading down Conrod Straight. Well, I guess a guy must feel very, very happy at the moment. That's probably the greatest understatement of today is Win Percy. Win can hear us in the pits, is that right, Win?
Yes, I can hear you.
Just speak up a little bit. Would you like to talk to your driver and bring in all of our viewers to the little conversation? Take it away.
Okay, Mike. Can you hear me, Gricey?
Yes, Win, I got you.
You did a grand job, buddy. I can't quite believe it.
Not over yet, mate. We've got a few laps to go, yeah?
I know there is, buddy. There's 11 to go. We're just keeping our fingers crossed for you, but it looks pretty good.
Okay, I'm sort of trying to keep that gap at the moment, keep the revs down as well. We've certainly got enough fuel to get home, but Wally just wants to make sure, so I brought those revs down to 7.2, as you can see, and that'll save us a lot of fuel, so I guess we'll get it away heavy there, Win.
For an old guy, you're doing pretty well, mate. I tell you what, this team manager's job's worse than ever driving a motor car. Keep it up, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Okay, Win.
Thank you, Win. Thank you, Alan. So Grice heads up to BP Cutting. We've been riding around with him, so you can follow his style, just how smooth he is. Track very, very greasy.
You can see a lot of the feedback through the wheel. This car doesn't run power steering. They run manual steering on it. And with the big 10-inch tyres on the front, it really does fight the drive. It's an incredibly heavy car to drive through the steering. But once you sort of get it up on top of the springs and everything, it's working like that. And I think with the amount of drilling that's going through Grice at the moment, it wouldn't matter if it's a 10-ton truck, you'd be driving it the same way.
I think you're right somehow.
Geez, he's driving it down the hill here, back through to third, back to second around the hill. Here's a jump off the top. into third now.
Come on, Smithy, talk us around a lap with
And
Grice.
he's told it to be back to second to the Forest elbow. Turn it in. Car, geez, it's still slippery there because the car was understeering out wide. It's in third, fourth. You can hear the gears screaming. He's way down the chute now. Over the right here, the car flare over the humps as it gets over. The car gets very light and starts to walk over the humps. He just goes through the kink without a lift off, not really braking it hard. Pulling it back to about 290 k's down through the gears, back to second. He didn't bank through the gears. The straight cut gears tend to scream at note a lot. I suppose they all do. Back to third, back to second. Turn it in now for pit straight. Just because of the curve. On the curve on the exit, just holding on to it. He's using 7.2 now. He's pulled it back from 8 just to try and save some fuel. Back to third, back to second again. Back up to Mountain Straight. It's a pretty quick lap with Grice.
Thanks to our Dunlop race cam now, we take it out of the front bumper, John.
It's sort of like a hang right in the front of the car. Cars tend to lift off and fly over both humps coming up and down the mountain. It's back to third. We should be third through here. The car drops off actually the circuit drops off camber just then we run over the camera. And it gets very taily and light. Just a dab on the brakes and then back to second again for the cutting here. In close to the wall and out wide. See the 7 helicopter following it around now. She's really using all the road.
A few drops of rain appearing on the screen there.
I guarantee even if Paul did catch up to him somewhere, he'd have hell's problem trying to get past him. I reckon Grice can make a car about 20 feet wide if he wants.
And of course, not only is it a red letter day for Alan Grice and for Holden, they also have a second car that is running so strongly here. That is Bradley Jones in the number 7 car. It's co-driven with Neil Crompton. 6th on the road at the moment, young Bradley. Brad has done most of his racing this year in the Oscar and Ascar class, actually at Commodore, been overseas. Loves the booming V8. And I'll tell you, for a guy that's been out of touring car racing for the year, I think he has done a magnificent job.
He really has. He hasn't had an enormous amount of time in this car, and just a credit to Bradley, he's adapted to it very quickly. And of course to Neil, they both make an excellent combination.
A pair of new young guys getting into it, and I think it's actually better to Holmes to put them in the car and give them a decent shot at it as well. They brought home the bacon, so it's great.
The better halves have joined us, Mrs. Percy and Mrs. Grice. Should smile, girls, there's not that long to go.
Can't see their hands in that shot, but I'd say every finger would be crossed.
Yes, I'd say Christine Grice would be riding this one with Alan. This had meant so much to them. The second Bathurst victory. You recall his last one was with Graham Bailey in the Chickadee Chicken car, and again he was magnificent on that day. So Rosemary Percy and Christine Grice hang fire in the pits, waiting to see what happens.